Hello everybody and welcome back to Victoria, where I would like to do a little bit of exploration here on what exactly the process of joining the Confederation looks like from the other side. I don't actually know what that looks like, so what we're going to do here, we're not going to make any changes whatsoever. I just want to take a look at tooltips and such. We're going to switch country over to Bavaria, and we're going to start here. So we switch to Bavaria, and once we're here, I want to look at, is this a decision? Is this something that shows up in the diplomacy here? How does this work? So if we look at the interactions, asked to become protectorate. Okay, maybe it's a decision. The path to liberalism. German unification. Will activate if Bavaria is greater or equal to major power. Wait, so Bavaria has to be a major power for this to happen? That's weird. I definitely wouldn't have expected that. These guys up here were definitely not major powers. Huh. That's very strange. So, like I said, we're not going to change anything. All we're looking to do is look around a bit. We're going to hop back to our own country here. And if that's the case, let's see, decisions here, German unification, yes. We can't actually do anything there. Radio production, elevating our situation, yeah. So this is all expected stuff. We could, I suppose, survey a skyscraper site for minus 500 bureaucracy. Honestly, let's do it. So we now have a skyscraper survey entry here. But that's weird that apparently Bavaria needs to be a major power. That's very weird. Or maybe that was for them starting the Confederation. You know what? That might well be the case. I want to double check that. Let's hop back into Bavaria and take a quick look at that. Again, I don't want to change anything here. All I want to do is... yeah, so this is the same one that we had. In order for them to start the German unification, they have to be a major power. That makes more sense. Okay, so how would they go about offering to join us? Well, they would have to leave the Austrian protectorate status, if I recall correctly. Let's see here. Bavaria is... they only have a defensive pact with Austria. Okay, noted. Definitely noted. So how do they go about requesting that, then? That is my major question right now. And I don't know the answer to it. We've not been able to request it of others. They've always popped up an event for us. I would have assumed it was somewhere in here. Interesting. So I guess we don't have any answers here. We can switch back to the North German Federation. Yeah, that was an interesting exploration for sure, but answers were not achieved. Answers were not achieved. Which makes me sad. That definitely does make me sad. We're going to tick on forward here. And we're just going to continue paying down our debt. That'll be fine. Now, I'm interested in input goods shortages. We still have an oil input goods shortage. Did we finish constructing our oil rig? No. We do have another oil rig being built. I don't expect that to fix our input goods shortage. Electricity is still an expensive government good. Okay, so we could continue to drop the price of electricity if we really wanted to. So we hop over then to our power plants. And to be clear, a big part of the reason why our electricity throughput isn't particularly high is because our power plants, if we go into our buildings here, our power plants are running off of coal firing rather than oil firing. Oil firing plants will produce a lot more electricity, but they require oil. We have a good source of coal. We don't really have a good source of oil. Well, we have some oil, but we don't have nearly enough to pull off something like that. So that's not going to be an option. We're just going to have to build more coal-fired plants. That's all there is to it. So we'll take this up to, like, level 35. We'll take this up to, like, level 10. And I'm noting that we're slightly in deficit right now, so we'll just chill here. Not building too many more than that. Okay, so that's looking good. Peace treaty, yep, that's to be expected. No problem whatsoever there. And some of these are going to be finishing up. There we go. Cool. So the main question now is, when is Bavaria going to offer to join our confederation? Because I'm pretty sure they can. Is that it? That's it, right there. Okay, so before I accept this, I want to swap back to Bavaria again. Because they've offered this to us, but I want to see where they got the option for it. Urbanized Bavaria. It's not here. It may have disappeared when they sent it. I have no idea where that option comes from, to be honest. I literally don't know. Huh. Well, we didn't send it. I have no idea where they have that option at. I wish I could have seen that so that we could have a little bit better understanding about how to exploit that. But unfortunately, well, not necessarily unfortunately, Bavaria joins us. That's a pretty big deal. One step closer to unification. Beautiful. So with Bavaria under our control, the next thing we need to do is look at incorporating those 3 states. Beautiful. The next thing that we need to do is... I don't think there's any oil down here, but I want to double check that. Oil rig. We can build it in... Oh, we can build it in LB? We can build a bunch in LB. Absolutely done. Absolutely done. Okay. That's wonderful. Now we need to go through our buildings and make sure that those are all up to date. So we're going to do baking powder, vacuum canning. Did we back off of vacuum canning? Hang on. I believe we went back to canneries to take up less oil. Okay, there we go. And then publicly traded. Electric sewing machines, elastics, automatic power looms, and government traded. Or rather, publicly traded. Cool. This should be on crystal glass, and it is. Automatic bottle blowers, publicly traded. Looks broadly good. And we need to make sure that these are... Oh, I closed it. Come here, buildings. We need to make sure that these are auto-expanding as well. Okay. So all of that auto-expands. Fantastic. The urban center, we were on unlit streets. The Arts Academy, according to this, is saying we should go to realist or photographic art. I don't know about that. It's saying that there are newly researched production methods. I'm not sure that's true. But we'll automatically expand all of this. Government administration. I believe we're on administrative clergy, actually. So we'll do that. Philosophy department and secular academia sounds fine. Okay. For rural areas. We'll get all of this done as well. Cool. There's going to be quite a number of these that need to be done. I wish there was a way to just conform to your pre-existing standards before then. That'd be awfully nice, but alas, there's not. This is going to give us a decent amount more coal, I believe, which is always good. And yes, this is going to burn oil, and I'm not necessarily a fan of that, but it is what it is. Looks like we're still profitable here, so that looks absolutely fine. Okay, logging camps, hardwood production, chainsaws, rail log carts, and publicly traded. There we go. For fishing wharves, same sort of thing. Fantastic. Okay. Now, for all of this, siege artillery, reconnaissance is, I think... Can we go aerial? No, not yet. Noted. And we've still just got the standardized infantry, which is slightly awkward. We haven't really worked on our army very much at all. That's not been the point of this playthrough. For our port, we're going to run... I kind of want to run cargo ports, to be honest. So we'll run cargo ports. We'll run steel passenger, and this is going to be government run. Subsidized, but automatically expanded. Okay. And they were not on arc-welded buildings, so we'll just bump up to that. Beautiful. So we'll tick on forward. Bavaria is now ours. And there's German unification concluded. The tireless effort of statesmen and soldiers has been rewarded. Germany is united into a single state. Through blood and iron, through diplomacy and guile, Germany is united. It is a day of triumph and of reflection. However the future unfolds, the German state will surely play a leading role in deciding the fate of mankind. So we can say, all hail the king, and gain authority and popularity permanently. How old is this guy? 51? That might not be bad. Or we could gain loyalist in the North and South German pops. I don't feel like... Well, actually, authority would be pretty good. All hail the king. That would allow us to put in an additional consumption tax, in theory, on, say, porcelain. Done. Beautiful. So we've got a bunch of construction underway here. We are running a deficit at this time. I'm checking in on this revolution. That appears reasonably fine. Our GDP... This graph is not normal. This is showing us... I don't know what this is showing us. 15.6 million. That is not our GDP. I have no idea what's going on there. I think this may have broken. That may be because we switched around to different nations. We could try making a save here and reloading that save and see if that fixes the GDP graph. Let's take a look at that real quick. So this save that we literally just made, let's load that in and see what that ends up doing. Swapping around may have broken our GDP graph. I think that's a reasonable expectation. Okay. Maybe a game restart would be in order. For now, though, we're just going to continue ticking forward. I'm not going to restart the game for the purposes of that graph, so it's okay for now. We'll just keep an eye on this number here, how far ahead of France we are. Cool. So we're going to finish up these power plants soon enough. We are actually getting close to eating up our investment pool. And we're spending a lot right now. No doubt about that. A huge amount. Actually, hang on. Look at these subsidies. Urban centers, railways, mostly urban centers. Okay, we need to do something about that. What did we break on our urban centers? Well, we subsidized them. That's what we broke. Okay, this is much more acceptable. This is more like what I expected to be running for a deficit right now. So that's reasonably fine. That said, our balance, excluding temporary income and expenses, is still negative, which is non-great. So we still have a bunch of subsidies going on here. There are some things that are subsidized that are not intended to be: motor industries, tooling workshops, chemical plants, and steel mills. And I think those were in Bavaria. So we want to have the Bavarian locations be non-subsidized. Well, that's better. Our railways are mega expensive. I'm just checking. Yeah, electricity is still expensive. We're going to be finishing up all of these power plants soon enough. That will help with that. So that should offset some of those costs. Furniture manufactories finishing up, and a lot of other constructions finishing up as well. So now we're running about even. Now we're quite positive when our construction finishes up. This is looking much better. Once these power plants finish, things should turn pretty solidly in our favor. They're already solidly in our favor, so that's good. We got that all sorted, and that's absolutely excellent. I guess this is on weekly GDP now. Well, it was before too. This is not the correct GDP. I don't know. Is this the Bavarian state GDP 14 million. That seems about right. I think we broke it by swapping countries. Well, Paradox, if you watch this, I guess you can look into that bug, but I know that you probably don't, so it's fine. We have insufficient taxation capacity in Brandenburg and Hanover. We should definitely work on that. Government administration in Brandenburg and in Hanover. Perfect. We'll get that underway. We also have low market access in Württemberg and Brandenburg. What's going on in Württemberg? This is very, very low. This is, I think, a location we got from Bavaria. Yes, indeed it is. So we should definitely work on railway. But we are working on that automatically. Okay, cool. So that looks reasonably fine. No major issues there. We'll get that brought on up. And now that we have Germany brought together, that's absolutely great. The question is, what would our goal now be? I mean, we'd like to get Saxony and Bremen into the fold. That's for sure. With Saxony and Bremen, that's pretty much all of Germany under our control. Like, what is going on here? Right. These guys are a puppet of ours? Okay, we could grant them independence. And in fact, that's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to grant them independence, and we want to invite them to our customs union. We will start bankrolling them, and we will begin improving relations if we could, but we can't. So we're bankrolling them right now. They're not currently accepted defensive pact. They ended their support for us, hilariously. That's fine. We'll get that handled. So that'll be okay. And we are working on Belgium and Netherlands right now. Now, I don't think that we're going to be able to get them into our customs union anytime soon. Actually, we might be able to. We could absolve their obligation, which bumps them up to 75. Fascinating. Absolutely fascinating. Okay, so we need to get these guys onto our side here. They're currently wary of us, but relations are amicable. So, ideological differences of our governments. Yeah, we definitely need to bring these up. Currently at 51. Noted. So that'll come on up. No real problem there. Hopefully we'll get an obligation on them. That would be nice. And we're making a good amount of money now at this point. So that's absolutely great. We're noticing that our subsidy cost has declined dramatically. Electricity is still considered an expensive good, though. So we should probably further expand our power plants. So we're going to go ahead and do so, bringing Brandenburg up to 45, Rhineland up to 40, Hesse up to 15, Pomerania up, and Westphalia up. There we go. That's all we'll construct for now, because that dips us down into the negative. So that'll be fine, and we just need to continue working on bringing their attitude up. They view us as a natural enemy and a militarily threatening neighbor. If they weren't defending the borders, we could form a defensive pact with them. That would pretty much do the trick. Interesting. Very interesting indeed. Now, if Austria decides to jump in on that one, I'm going to be upset. And we're going to do something about Saxony in that case. They're unhappy mine owners. And I don't know where that event just went. I clicked on it and it vanished. Okay. Well, sure. We're going to continue our construction here for the time being. And construction will continue to be ongoing. Our GDP is continuing to really skyrocket. This graph is not accurate, but it's definitely skyrocketing. We are almost 300 million above France in GDP. So that's great. I want to check in on our investment pool. It is empty. Noted. So that's absolutely fine. We're currently at 79 with Belgium. They would not accept taking on debt. I would accept 259k. That's not a big deal. War propaganda is unlocked. Okay, I don't really care about that right now. We might care about that in a little bit here. But for the moment, that seems reasonably fine. They would not currently accept a trade agreement because there are no trade routes between our markets. Okay. What about Netherlands? The Netherlands are close to accepting that. Polish people are migrating to Sardinia. Okay, cool. I hope they have fun with that. And let's just take a quick look here. Yep, nobody's really doing anything with these guys right now. So that looks good. Belgium wants a defensive pact. Done. So with Belgium having a defensive pact with us, they would now join our customs union. I don't know if it's possible for them to join our confederation. But they would join our customs union, which fundamentally means that we are their overlord. We'll see if it's possible for Belgium to join our confederation diplomatically. We have not really been able, or we haven't even tried to do that with people who are not German, right? So I don't know if there's a cultural limitation on that. It's very possible. For now, though, this seems okay. Netherlands is coming up in their opinion of us. And Belgium is functionally, at this point... Yeah, we're the senior partner in a customs union with Belgium. So Belgium is functionally our vassal at this point. That's great. We can also start thinking about doing that with Luxembourg. So we can go to Luxembourg here, interactions, and begin improving relations and start bankrolling them. Done. Our economy is so strong that we can just buy our way into everyone's hearts. And that is beautiful. Just magnificent. We'll improve relations with Saxony. We're not going to bankroll them. We don't really... I don't think we even can bankroll them right now. But we'll bring our relations up a bit there. And once we finish up on these power plant constructions, we should, in theory, be quite positive. Oh yeah, 330k? In that case, we can probably consider dropping our taxes down further. Not right now, but when our power plants finish in about a month. That seems okay. So I'm not necessarily expecting that Belgium joins our confederation. I'm not sure it's even possible for Belgium to join our confederation. We should probably stop bankrolling them. Because with them being in our customs union, that should do the trick on its own. And we can save that money. So that would be great. They would also accept us taking on their debt. 1.22 million. For an obligation. I think we'll not do that for the time being. I would like to get Belgium properly integrated into our country. The question is, how do we go about doing that diplomatically without a confederation if all we have is a customs union? I don't know if we can make a confederation. Now, we're about to get a checkpoint on enacting the public health insurance. Cool. It worked. So minus 5% mortality. The radicalists are slightly upset. Or rather, the industrialists are slightly upset. But what are they going to do? Nobody cares about the industrialists right now. It seems fine. It seems fine. Okay, so we are working our way up on these guys. Are we bankrolling them? We are. Okay, so they would currently accept a trade agreement. Consider that done. They would not accept a customs union just yet, but they're getting there. We could form a defensive pact. Consider that done. And that should boost up their opinion pretty dramatically. 4 per day. That's pretty good. Actually 5 per day. That's pretty good. So that'll go up quickly. Now, these guys are at 70. The industrialists are upset. Very upset. They want private schools in exchange. And the rural folk want closed borders, but nobody's really too into that. I'm not into it either because, I mean, we need more workers. We need more workers. There's no doubt about that. But it is about time to put a cut in here, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. And next episode, we are going to continue spreading our diplomatic tendrils. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and a very special thank you to all of the channel members for making this video possible, including Casserole, ALS Gamer, Kentuin, James, Shadowwolf, Mlohan80, Spartan News, Nick Smarty, Video Games Are Not Real, Dimitri H, Punching the Microphone, Unisil, Kadra, Rogue Corvid, and all the rest. And of course, you. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to support the channel, you can click the join button down below the video, and as always, I will see you all next time.